Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of our medieval Total War Viking invasion campaign as the Northumbrians. And we are in the middle of a war with the Saxons here, which may end pretty soon actually. We may get kicked out of their territory here if there's a big counterattack from Dorset and Somerset. If all of these Saxon forces converge on Devon, we may be thrust out of the province, and that would mean we no longer share a border. We would still have some naval connections, but we could theoretically end the war with them fairly soon. Now, that's not what I want to happen. I would like to stay down here and keep causing problems for them, and hopefully, you know, getting a nice sort of balance of power on our side here. But here's the diplomatic situation. So we've recently got an alliance through marriage with the Mercians. I believe their princess married our Prince Redwolf here, who is next in line for the throne, looking pretty decent in terms of stats. And that's important because our current king, Elfwald, is 53, and he may not be long for the world. If that's the case, Redwolf is going to take over, and he's going to be a great warrior materialist, which is going to really help for income, I'm hoping, throughout our entire kingdom. And he has recently overseen the conquest of Scotland, essentially. We've taken over all of mainland Scotland. The Scots are eliminated, and so we're in a pretty nice position in the north. Diplomatically, again, we're at war with the Saxons only, and we're only allied with the Mercians. I'm hoping to ally with the Irish in this episode. If they can get a princess out, I'm going to try to get her hand for one of my other unmarried princes here. I think Prince Ianred is unmarried. Oh no, he is married. Okay, so we're gonna need another son to come of age in a little while, and yeah, to get of the right marriageable age. So that's gonna be some time. So I guess until that occurs, there's no real need for me to go begging for Irish alliance. Although, who did he marry? Who did Elfwald marry? Or Anred, rather. Who did this guy marry? Was it a princess of Mercia? I just can't remember. Some of you no doubt remember better than I do at this point. But I don't think it really it would be to our advantage to get an alliance with the Irish unless we can get a princess's hand out of it. So we're just going to keep our eyes open for that opportunity. But I have brought down some more units to deafness with the idea of holding off any counterattack. But I'm not totally sure if the Saxons are going to go for a counterattack because they are pretty threatened by Mercians, right? At any point here, the Mercians could hit them in Essex. From Middle Anglia, right? They could hit them in Hwicca, again, from Rucken-Seton and Mercia. And since we've recently allied with the Mercians, they may be more inclined to do that. Maybe they don't feel the need to garrison their northern borders quite so strongly. So we need to get ready to move in if we see the opportunity, but we also need to sort of shore up our defenses in Devon. So let's see what the Saxons are going to do. Good, there's the big counterattack. Oh, interestingly, the Saxons flail up against the Welsh. They're going into Powys. Wow, okay. This is very interesting. I predict the Saxons are going to lose this, but they're going to keep that, so the Welsh have just retreated out of Powys. That's a crazy move by the Saxons. I mean, they went into Cornwall too, so they're going after the Welsh pretty hard here. Wow, okay. So they get Powys. Yes, the Mercians take Hwicca. Looks like they're going to take Middlesex as well. Interesting. Okay, so the Saxons have done a weird move. I wonder what the logic is. You know, it's total war logic, I guess. But they didn't attack me or the Mercians at all, and the Mercians indeed seem to have thrown everything at every border they shared with the Saxons. So a crazy miscalculation on the part of the Saxon AI here to go for Powys and Cornwall when they could have thrown everything they had at me, gotten me out of Devon, and at least maybe had a better chance of holding out in Hwicca. But maybe they did the calculations, crunched the numbers, and figured they couldn't have withstood the Mercian attacks anyway, and so they needed to get out of there, grab some other territory that they felt they could get, and Powys probably is an easy target. Cornwall too, and then maybe from a stronger position do a counterattack. But the problem I see with that is, well, let's just get to the screen here. All right, we've got an assassin captured. All right, let's see how this all shook out. Yes, they did take Cornwall, and they've got a lot of Huscarls here. They've still got a port intact, but because my ships are here blocking the Severn mouth, they can't get their troops out of here without going through Devon first. So they can't just leave Cornwall. Not like they really want to necessarily, but this is kind of nice. It isolates these guys from being able to support, you know, somewhere else in the rest of the war. So I'm looking pretty strong in Devon here. I've got some ideas as to how to exploit this. Now, Wessex is looking strong, and Middlesex got completely conquered by the Mercians. Essex and Hwicca are under siege, so that means there is likely to be a counterattack from the Saxons into at least one of these provinces. I don't think they're going to bother to go for Middlesex, but they're probably going to try to preserve one of these two. Let's see. They don't own Powys, and they don't own Cornwall, so the Saxons are just in an altogether weaker position. They lost 2 provinces worth of income, which they had, and they didn't gain any income from taking these 2, and even if they do take these 2, they're not going to make that much money off of them. These are not high earners. Powys doesn't even have any mineral resources. Oh, it does have silver, but there's no mines constructed here. There's no trade goods. There's a lot of buildings, so I guess they could get some plunder, but they're not going to be in a great position here. There's no iron, so they're not going to be producing fantastic troops. If they preserve the royal palace, they'll be able to crank out Huscarls, which of course is a really good unit. They can get armored spearmen out of this if they keep that. And what do they have up here? All right, some good troops. Now, unfortunately, this is not really a place I can access with my good units. I mean, I can send units here navally, but not enough, I think, to be able to take this. Yeah, I should have maybe moved these guys out of Kate. We've got to think about how I'm going to handle the north. But even that, I don't think would have been enough to take out these guys. And I don't necessarily want to get involved right now because I don't want to start a war with Wales, and I'm not allied with the Welsh. So I don't, you know, I wouldn't be fighting a battle to get their province back for them. And that's risky anyway, because let's say if I did have these units that were strong enough, I felt, and like I had positioned them so I could send them down to the south, in order to, well, okay, I'm realizing that I'm sort of misreading the situation here, but generally speaking, doing an overseas siege relief operation in which you are getting a province back for one of your allies is very risky, because you will often end up having to ransom your own troops back, because the ships don't come cheap, basically. So that would be the case. Now, here, we do have a bordering province, so probably what would happen here is if I did send troops down into Powys, if we were allied with the Welsh, and we did win the battle, then our troops would probably just go back to Gwynedd, would hand the province back over to the Welsh, they'd send their gratitude, our king would get an influence boost, and our troops would retreat back to Gwynedd. So anyway, that's how that would probably shake out. None of that is relevant, though, because that's not going to happen. But down here, we're going to do this. We're going to hit the Saxons while they're weak, I think, and try to grab Somerset off of them relatively cheaply. Now, we may lose Devon in the process, because there's, you know, 3 full units of Saxon Huscarls here. But they're probably going to stick around in Cornwall and try to take that out. So what we can do is move right into Somerset. I'm not sure if the king is going to remain here, but we'll at least give it a shot. That's going to put us at border with the Mercians, maybe. But let's see, if they were to, if the Saxons were to move all of their troops into Somerset and to try to hold it against us, they could maybe. They can't move these guys from Kent over there, even if our ships were not blocking the sea lanes for them, because they don't have a port here. So they could theoretically move some troops from Sussex. I don't think they're going to do that. They can't move troops out of Powys to help. They can only bring guys from here. And this is their only army left. So I think we're looking at maybe a Mercian victory in the war here. And so the question is, do I precipitate that, right? Do I accelerate that Mercian victory? And like we said, it's very risky. I'm married to a Mercian princess. Maybe that gave the Mercians the confidence they needed to go down and hit the Saxons here. But I think we got to wait a couple of turns to see just for sure how this war is going to go, because the Saxons could theoretically abandon their siege of Pois, hit Quicca again, maybe win. This is only 2 stacks. And I think the Saxons have slightly better units. So they could take this back, maybe. But I think the Mercians are pretty strong here. They get a lot of peasants, but the Saxons just don't have enough men, I think, to be everywhere. So yeah, let's get moving towards ending the stalemate, because I think we are in a position to do that. So we trained a few troops in the last turn, and we can send them down somewhere that would be helpful. I had originally thought we could send them down to Devon. Unfortunately, the Saxons have a ship here, and it's a longboat, so it's got slightly better stats. But we can send both of our ships at it. Let's go ahead and see if we can clear them out of there. This could, of course, backfire, and we could end up with, you know, no ships in that sea zone, which would be somewhat disastrous. But let's move, yeah, let's move the armored spears down here, along with the fearedmen, and along with these woodmen that I just trained. All right, who's the guys I just trained? I think we'll keep the honest man right there, and we'll send down the less honest guy. And we had some Huscarls I was moving over as well, and I did train some new Huscarls also. You're looking pretty loyal, so I'll move you down here. Okay, everything else is fine. Not a lot of troops for mercenary recruitment here, but okay, we've got one more turn for a boat, and in Fib we're working on farming. Alright, do we want to go for the slipway here? I think we want to go for the rookery. Let's do it. 800 florins, 4 years. We're getting assassins out of here. In this place, I think we're working on spies, Kyle. And I don't think our spies need to be great, so I'm content with the level of spies that we have. Let's move some of them up north. Actually, let's move all of them up north. I want to make sure we've got a good, secure hold on this. Now, I could go for Orkney. That's not really pressing, I don't think, at the moment. And we could also go for Domon. Again, I don't see much need to do that. I guess Orkney could be a locus of rebellion if the Scots re-emerge. They could re-emerge here. So maybe there's a point to taking it back. One thing we do want to check now is to make sure that our loyalty in every place that was owned by the Scots is above 120%, and it is. Because if they emerge here, right, which they could, then any place that they owned previously could spawn a Scottish army if it is lower than 120% in terms of the provincial loyalty. Okay, I don't think I want to spend anywhere else up here. Yeah, Scotland is going to suffer from neglect, unfortunately. But we do need to work on this seaboard here, because this is a weak point in our defenses. If the Saxons were stronger, nothing would prevent them from sending troops up here to invade, you know, Bernicia and Lothian, even Dara. So we want to be very careful about that. But we're getting a boat. Hopefully that'll help a little bit. Do I want to start building boats here, just in case? No, I think that's going to be something we work on in Fib. Or maybe indeed Monmouth would be a good place, but Fib has the trade goods, so that's what we'll work on that eventually. Okay, let's go with a longboat here. I don't think I'll need armored spearmen for a little while. And here we're going to go into Dorset, or Somerset rather. I'm going to leave behind just a bare garrison of let's leave these spearmen. That's fine in terms of loyalty. Let's train another horseman, and we'll see if we can force them out. Okay, I don't think there's anything else I want to do in terms of diplomacy. And let's just check out how we're doing with Vikings, with evangelization and, unrest. So they're down to 91% loyalty here, 22% Catholicism. Up here, 68%. That's great. Okay. And we saw in the last episode that they had sent a brief army down to East Anglia, I think. just for like a single turn. And I don't think it did anything. It didn't win. But they theoretically have the network available. Oh, wow, okay. Yep, so the Saxons... Alright, let's take a look at what they did here. They moved their king over to Wessex. It looks like they're probably going to retreat out of Somerset. They kept a lot of their troops in Powys, but they moved some down to Hwicca, and unfortunately the Mercians are cowards and are just retreating out of there. That is sad. But it looks like the Mercians are going to pick up Essex. So that's good, I guess, for them. Alright, Saxons withdraw to the castle at least. I don't think they're going to withdraw out of the fort or out of the province entirely. Yeah, it's under siege. Alright, so that's not ideal. And we lost both of our ships, as I feared. That sucks. Okay. We got our copper mine in Pexet, and I queued that up at the beginning of the episode here. And Irish want an alliance. Now, this means we've got them where we want them, in a way. We'll keep an eye on any princesses, but again, it's going to be a while before an heir comes of age. So we'll say no. And there's our son. Okay, perfect. So 16 years, we'll see if they have a princess at that time, and we'll get those two married. Osbert is most eloquent. Osgeth is pride. Okay, that's fine. Check our loyalties again real quick. Okay, let's see. Do we have any ships? No, nothing. Alright, now that is unfortunate. But are the Saxons at war with the Vikings? No, they're allied with them. Okay, so the Vikings are probably keeping the sea lanes pretty safe down here for the Saxons, which means they could send troops over here. But they don't have a lot of troops that it would make sense for them to send. And anyway, they could just move these troops over to Deafness regardless. They don't need to wait for naval invasion. So, how can I manipulate this? This is now very risky because the Saxons have all of their strong troops in Hwicca. They've got just bits and pieces everywhere else. So the probability is high that they're going to send at least one stack down here. And maybe another one down here to help garrison Wessex. But I think that's what I want to go for. I'm not even going to try to keep Dorset or Somerset. I'm going to try to just move my troops through. I think I will move you over. Can I train spearmen? I guess I could. I'm thinking we could send both of these troops over here. Very low taxes, try to keep the rebellion likelihood nice and low. This is a province that is owned by us, so what we could do at this moment is move like a spy down. I don't necessarily need a fantastic spy, but just some spy. And so the border fort's not going to hurt us now. The border fort is, I think, ours for the time being. And we will just keep training horsemen because why not? We're still making a decent amount of money. And if we can just force the king out, then we could get Wessex entirely and maybe keep it intact. And if we did, look at all the buildings that they've got. So some of these buildings we've seen before. I think the Royal Hall was one. The Mint is another one. There's a Court of Law. There's a Royal Armory, which is a really cool Viking horned helmet type thing. But all of these are going to give titles, which are very, very useful. So we could grab these and, you know, maybe make use of them. Although if we do capture this province, we're probably not going to keep it. So I'm probably going to slash and burn, honestly. Maybe we'll train a Huscarl unit while we wait. But we're kind of doing the Mercians' work for them here. We're at least making life a lot easier for them by making life harder for the Saxons. So they're going to have to peel off some forces to defend that. Okay, so we had a boat that we built up there, and that's great. That's holding that region. 3 seasons. Let's go for another boat until this is built, and then we can train our 3 Valor Assassins right out of the gate. That'll be very nice. An emissary is moving up. He may be looking for a ceasefire, because I imagine the Saxons would be doing really well if it wasn't for us doing this kind of stuff. Okay, this is about to fall. They may take it, but the Welsh also may counterattack from Gwent or Clyde. Let's see, let's get these units together. We could send some of them down if we hadn't ruined our fleets down here. But we needed to try to get the Saxon ships out of our face. Alright, Armored Spearmen, we're moving you down, I think. Let's just check loyalty. Alright, that's all looking very good. We've got a good amount of Huskarls, I think, spread throughout. And so I'm not inclined to train up a lot more units right now. Let's see, maybe we can spend a bit of money on Scotland. What we should build here is a boat builder. Ski is not really going to produce anything for us in terms of military, but it's got trade goods, it's got a port already, so we may as well just have an extra way of getting ships around. Okay, and this is a longboat. Now, why did I have you over here? I guess I could bring you down right now to help defend against any Saxon incursion into the Irish Sea. I want to keep that locked down. And here, do I want to go for another Huskarl unit? I don't think so. Let's see. Let's go for a Christian shrine. We'll just keep the loyalty as good as we can. I think that improves happiness in the province. And we'll see what the Saxons do about our invasion of Wessex. Oh, wow. Okay, the Mercians are going right for Powys. Okay, so the Saxons invade Defness. You know, I don't think I'm going to bother to fight this one out. It's Spearmen versus Huskarls. It's a flat plain. We're not going to do this. So I'm going to... let's retreat to the stronghold. We'll make him time it out. Somerset. Okay, so they're sallying from that. I'm going to abandon the province. Maybe we'll keep those horsemen somehow. Maybe they'll retreat to Wessex if we keep that. Okay, and oh no. They moved a bunch of guys down here. Alright, so this is for everything. This is for the preservation of this army. We've got nowhere to go to. And we're outnumbered, in fact, even though they've got no reinforcements. Okay, so they are defending. We are the attacker in this scenario. The terrain looks like it might provide them a bit of advantage in terms of height. No real woods to worry about. They've only got one Saxon Huskarl, and we have one that has better valor and one more man. So actually, we're looking pretty good in that regard. They've got 2 units of peasants, so we've got to remember that that is making up a part of their numbers. And they've got a half-strength unit of spearmen. The rest is, you know, decent stuff. Lord Bertrick, though, has absolutely no command. Most of his units are looking very weak. Armored spearmen are going to be the biggest threat, I would say. They do have 2 units of cav. I think we can overwhelm them, even though this is royal bodyguards. We've got some better stuff. So let's get the horsemen out front first for reinforcements. I think everything else is looking good, so we'll just go with that. Okay, a rainy day. They've got several archers. So, yeah, let's attack in the rain. We've got archers too, but I think we've got the stronger infantry, so I don't want them to get too many bow shots. Let's, in fact, change our army to... okay, I think we're in the 3-line defense, essentially. I'd like to get the archers in the back. Alright, line of battle is just a long line. Battles in column. The archers are on the wings. We've got, I guess, a strong infantry front. This is actually pretty decent. Okay, we'll go with that. So group them all up. We do have some weird stuff, like the kerns are on the far left. Yellow glass is on the left. But yeah, let's begin the battle. Oh my gosh. Alright, let's have everybody run. Alright, for some reason the mangonel didn't fire. I really thought it would. But let's actually now... where are they, though? Because they might not be near their mangonel. Okay, so let's change this up a bit. I want to ignore the archers for the moment and get all of the other guys in a group. Alright, so we'll move you over here. If we can get this hill, I think that'd be good. Let's send the archers up. Again, we'll just degroup them. And you guys, I guess I'll keep in a group. Oh, okay, yeah, they're up on the hill. Alright. Oh, no. Alright, so they could rush us. What's the mangonel aiming at? Alright, probably my archers. That's fine. Want to see if that's going to move. That big line there. Alright, yeah, we want to get about here. So, armored spearmen are probably going to make the first rush. Spearmen are over here. Their left is peasants. I've got some cav I could use to help on that end, I think. Alright, yeah, so their mangonel is hitting my archers. It's fine. Just keep them moving up here. Yeah, let's get the archers. Oh, did I click the wrong thing? No, I don't think so. So where are they going? Okay, they are going there. They're just overlaid. Alright. So that's going fine. Alright, let's just peck at the mangonel crew and see if that encourages any of them to come out and try to chase my bowmen. Archers are moving towards us. Alright, let's just aim at the armored spearmen now. In fact, let's see, we'll pull away. Yes, I think we can do this. Get them in the flank. The horsemen over. Engage. Engage. We're sort of doing this echelon thing, I guess. Is that what it is? I'm gonna keep my gallow glasses back so you guys can halt. Alright. Keep hitting them. My general over here. That's Fearedman. Alright, let's get into the armored spears now. Alright, they're pulling their cav back. Fearedmen are winning for some reason. Armored spearmen, we got them. Good. Alright, let's get the Huskarls up. That's their Huskarl unit. We've lost a few men in ours. Alright, let's not let the gallow glasses just stand around and get shot. Let's get the horsemen over. And we'll bring up the kerns too to support the gallow glasses. Alright, great. We've eliminated their armored spears. Will bring our archers just to fight the mangonel crew. Okay, Huskarls, yeah, let's fight the Fearedmen. Let's end that battle. And our Feared are not doing too great, or our units are not doing too great against their Feared, but let's hit the horsemen into their back. Let's hit their archers here. Mangonel crew is running. It looks like their units are trying to flee the field. Let's hit their horsemen with our kerns, I guess. Surprised this isn't turned yet. Okay, their general is over here, so that's probably part of the reason. Let's actually hit their Huskarls, get them off skirmish mode. think we're doing good. Oh, nope. Armored Spearmen winning easily. Okay, let's come back here. Let's try to engage their archers. Throw in the kerns. Good. Alright, their archers are just pegging us from the back. Poor choice of words. Let's hit the armored spearmen. I think we can get them from the rear. No. Turn on a dime. Okay. 32 Saxon Huskarls. Let's throw in to this side. And how is their general? Looks like there's a lot of them left. There's a pretty good section of armored troops over there. Alright, we've still got a decent amount of troops, and we've got some armored units of our own. We've got our landsmen, which are armor piercing. I think we're doing okay. Alright, horsemen we can now employ on the back. Good. Archers routing. Let's see. We'll get our horsemen over here. I think we'll just let them flee, because they've definitely got some guys back to the castle anyway. Those Mangonel crew are already going back to the fort. Right, let's form up our feared men again. Alright, I'm a little concerned about engaging the Huskarls just now with my general. And look at how badly our armored spearmen are faring. Running away, a lot of them are. Oh, did you guys just attack on your own? Okay. Oh, shoot. Alright, so this could go badly. Let's bring our archers back. Alright, yes. Run you back. Our Huskarls, 30 armored spearmen. Alright, let's pull our horsemen out. How's the general doing? Winning easily, 31 men. What are we fighting here? Looks like he's fighting some armored spears. But we need to distract their general to keep him off of ours. Oh, I don't want to lose this guy. I mean, we can't retrain him. Come in here. Alright, they've got, what is this? Armored spearmen? Oh no! No! Oh, that's the end of it, I think. Yep, look at that. Wow, okay. Alright. Okay. We've got reinforcements to bring on. But I don't think we can do anything with it. So we'll just have them all withdraw, I guess. That means we're losing this army. Yeah, there's just no hope at this point. So we'll kill the captured soldiers, and that was a problem. It may have helped Mercia, because we did take a number of them out. I don't want to pay for that ransom. That would be more than half of our current treasury. So there are some nobles, no princes in this group, but a lot of men. Mercian leaders died of an illness. Okay. That was close. Oh, wow. Alright, so big civil war here for Mercia. At just the worst time for them, and maybe for me, because I was kind of counting on the Mercians helping out with the Saxons here. We don't have anything in the south anymore, and it's not going to be so easy for us to get a ceasefire with the Saxons, because we now share a border with them in Powys, and they're moving their fleets up into the Irish Sea. Alright, what are you? Alright, you're just a basic boat. We'll send one boat after that. I'm going to leave the longboat here just as insurance in case that attack goes bad. But we no longer have a big army that we can send. And we can't get it down here anyway because we would need to get through this ship as well before our ships can send troops down into the south. So deafness is gone. Deafness is gone. And I think the Saxons are gonna win now because the Mercian Civil War means that they're gonna have to spend a year trying to figure out what they can possibly hold. My gosh, this is terrible. Now, I was also hoping that, you know, if a civil war happened, we might inherit some of their stuff. But I guess it doesn't work that way. I guess you only inherit if there's absolutely no heir. Now, it could be the case because are there any Mercian princes around? Let's take a quick look. I don't see any. Don't see any crown symbols. Oh, there's one here. So, he's 24. And the current king is 26. Not married, either of them. But that will probably change. And so, here's another one. He is 18. So, yeah, the Mercian royal family is relatively intact. But they are sort of isolated over here, and they may be eliminated in a few turns if the Saxons can get together to deal with them. Now, that said, the Saxons don't look super strong, right? Here's their king down here, Harold I. He's 55. Where's their family tree, by the way? Because they didn't have any sons over near my territory. Okay, they get two princes here, 28 and 34. They don't look very good. They get two princes up in Powys, Bertrick and Egbert, again in their upper 20s, lower 30s. You know, they've got some Huscarls still. Oh, actually, we can't see what this is. Okay, interesting. So they got some Huscarls still, but they don't have a lot of them anymore. I think they've used some of them in battle or spread them around. So what are the Mercians going to do? They're probably going to lose Rock-and-Seton. And theoretically, the Saxons could swoop in. Now, that could be a good opportunity for me to beat them with my good troops and get my good troops around here. So we may just want to, you know, do a little bit more building. Let's get some archers here. Let's see, we can't train anything there. Just militia sergeants, nothing too good. Okay, so yeah, everything else will sit tight. Fib, we got farms. So let's go ahead with the port. Actually, no, I think in order for us to do the boat builder, yeah, we need the stockade anyway, and this is cheaper, so let's go ahead and build the stockade. Okay. I think I want to bring my prince down south, along with some of these, you know, good units. That's not going to hurt provincial loyalty. Oh, it will, actually. Alright, very low taxes. We can train troops, but I don't think there's much of a point to it. Okay. That's good, even with a tiny garrison, because we got a spy up there. So, right, that's what we're doing. We're moving spies around. And we'll be able to get Kate back up to high taxes pretty soon. You can go here, here, and here. Some mercenaries in Moray, but again, nothing too spectacular. And Athola can only train archers. Dalriada. Let's go with some armored spears, I guess, and we'll bring them down south with us. And we'll just sort of collect some troops on the way, and we'll see what we can do with them by the time we get down here, because we may want to, yeah, you know, start thinking about Powys. All right, let's end the year. Nothing we can do in the south. We just got to see how the Civil War in Mercia works out. Okay, they're invading Gwynedd. They still haven't taken Pois, though. They're completely abandoning it, actually. So I'm going to go to the stronghold for that one. And they've got a lot of their Huskarls here. 3.5 units. They're just moving them farther and farther out of their zone of influence, which is a really bad move. So, fine. The Welsh are going to take Pois back. They're stranded in there. Mercians are going to abandon Ruckensett, and the Saxons own Hwicca outright. It looks like they'll keep it for a while. Wow, is that another civil war? This is a second civil war. Mercians are not having a good time. Okay. They're retreating out of Middlesex, so maybe the rebels are going to take it? Alright, Devon is being assaulted. I'm just going to auto-calc this one. It's like 3 Huskarls. So, we at least killed 51 of them. That was a lot better than we probably could have done. Oh my gosh. We completely lost in the Irish Sea. No ships there anymore. Wow. Okay, yep, not getting ransom for that. Oh my gosh. Alright, Egbert's very charitable. Edgeforth famously brave. That's nice. That's nice. But now the big problem is any troops down here that want to join the fun can attack Cumbria, Reggit, or Kyle. They can just invade from Gwynedd if they wanted to. So we need to do something about that. Well, this also means Ruckensett is, in a sense, up for grabs. I think we need to move on it now. Middlesex, thankfully, is still in rebel hands. But we need to go for this. This is a nice province. It's been well built up. It's got iron upgrades. It looks like this is the level 2. No, this is the level 2. The Armorer's Workshop. So that's like +2 armor, +1 weapons. If we can keep any of these, I'll be very happy. Still got its Abbey. So if we pour in like all of our troops from Deira, I'm going to risk that because we're allied with the Mercians, and they probably have bigger fish to fry than starting up a new war with us. And we're still only at war with the Saxons, although that is, you know, kind of a big problem. But we go for Ruckensett, and yeah, we take all these troops, which we've not been using, by the way. We've done nothing with these troops. So we may as well use them, right? I'm going to move all of you, right over here. Hopefully they'll just withdraw. It's a lot of peasants. We've got no Huskarls to speak of, hardly any archers. They've got a decent amount of feared, and they've got good weapon upgrades, as you can see, weapon and armor. So us taking this will be very, very good. Bring the Huskarls down. Bring you guys down, and bring the Fearedmen down here. And we're going to do... I think we're going to do the same thing with the Pexetten troops, all down into Ruckensett. So who's here? 100 Fearedmen. That's fine. Alright, we'll leave some troops in Reggit because I'm a little concerned about Saxon invasion up here. In fact, it might be a good idea to move my king over somewhere else that's not quite so vulnerable. Well, geez, everywhere is kind of vulnerable now that I look at it. Saxons could theoretically invade over here. No, they couldn't. They couldn't hit Lothian. Alright, still no good mercs. We're going to move you down. Attach you to the Armored Spearmen. And let's check out our influence. We've lost a few provinces. So yes, it was 6 when I started this episode, and now it's down to 5. So our influence has gone down a bit, but I think loyalty looks broadly good. So, very, very nice. Move you up here, and we gotta, I think, keep training spies. Just keep the spy train moving. Okay, Reggit. I think we may as well move her down here because we now need vision on some of these other places. Okay, do we have a boat? Oh, they took the boat that had just appeared. That's terrible. Alright, well, let's build a new one. And let's build a longboat up here. Even though Armored Spearmen would be really good to have, I think boats are better at this point. Let's go for more Fearedmen and Cumbria. And we're throwing everything at Ruckensett, hoping just to push the rebels out so we don't have to fight them, and then use these troops wherever we want, wherever would be the most useful. It might be good to take Pois, but I think the Welsh have that locked down. So let's just keep staying on the good side of the Welsh for now. And let's see, our income is kind of good. Let's get some more Huskarls. Just double check how the happiness looks here. And the loyalty of these guys is very nice, actually. And did we want to train anything else? Yeah, I think so. We'll go with another armored spearman unit. And let's just check. All right, nothing much has changed over here. It's holding pretty steady. So it will be time for more spies, or better spies, or more bishops. Let's move this good spy over there. Swap you guys out. I'll move you up here. Okay. Alright, yes. They're assaulting Gwynedd. Of course they are. This is just a warrior hold. There's nothing to it. I'm just going to auto-calc this. But again, they're tying up all these good units in these far-flung places. They're probably wasting no time in training other really good units. And at least they haven't exploited any advantage in sort of the south or the Midlands, because while they do have Hwicca, they haven't taken Middlesex or East Sax. So the Mercians have been left largely to their own devices. So, of course, we lose Defet, or Gwynedd, rather. But here we've got a big battle for Rocken Seton. Okay. We outnumber them massively. So this is going to be a fun battle to fight. Okay. I think what we'll do is we'll yeah, let's call the episode here. We'll end the episode. We'll start the next one with this battle. It's going to be a very important one for us, because not only do we need to win this, we need to win with enough troops left over and enough elite troops left over to be a massive threat against the Saxons wherever they're going to be. Probably directly south of us in Hwicca. That'll be our next conquest target, I believe, unless they left us a nice target in Powys. But that's going to be where we'll kick off the next episode. See you then.